we've been talking a lot about communication, and as you can recall, in the month of February we started talk about things to do with love, and how it is connected with money. We went on to discuss about communication. We talked about communication skills. We also talked about communication challenges, especially in our relationships, and we went on to provide solutions. And as in our last episode, we were talking about temperaments, and it's still part of the communication, because temperaments dictate how we interact with others. And on today's show, we want to summarize all of that, to make a recap, and to ensure that you got an in-depth understanding of what we are talking about. So welcome to this show. I'm Stephen Kings with my friend
Kimotho wa Kimani. Yes,
and one of the key things we talked about when we were talking about communication challenges, and we received a lot of feedback. Watu wengi waliongea about ile issue ya lies. Watu wakaguzilia sana about issue ya justification. Na tuka provide some of the solutions. Hatutaki kusema ati kwa lies watu waongee truthful, lakini leo tunataka kuangalia vile hizi temperaments zetu tuliongelea before, ni challenges gani hawaizi experience in communication, na zile challenges zenye unaweza experience ukiwa na hiyo personality ama ukiwa na hiyo temperament, unaweza zihandle aje. For example, when we are talking about lies, if you can recall, we talked about extrovert and introvert. Extroverts, we talked about the choleric and sanguine. Introverts, we talked about phlegmatic and melancholy. And there is a personality that you cannot lie to. So hata kama ni communication challenge na unajaribu kutumia lie kama a skill ya kuescape, labda kama a scapegoat, kuna personality you cannot lie to. You cannot lie to a melancholy, and you cannot lie to a choleric. Especially if you go in depth, you cannot lie to them, because a melancholy, if you can remember, we say they are critical thinkers, and choleric, they are leaders. So they are very strategic. If you lie to them, eventually they will catch up with you. So but kuna wale wenye wanadanganyika haraka kama sanguine, au wanadanganyika haraka. So tukiangalia hizi temperaments, kuna zile challenges zenye wanaweza experience, na kuna zile challenges zenye temperament fulani haiwezi kubaliwa ku experience. What do you think?
I want to welcome our viewers. Just want to appreciate all of you who have given your comment. Pia tumeona mkilike pale in our social media. Nataka kuwashukuru sana. Thank you for all those ambao wamepeana their feedback. And actually, kulingana na ile program tumekuwa nayo, kuna pia mtu niliona pale akiongea mambo ya silence. Tulizungumzia sana.
Silence.
And she was a lady. Niliona akikomentia sana pale, akisema pia kama hakuwa anaipenda sana, isitumike tena sana.
Alisema, but sasa ukiangalia critically, mtu mwenye anasema silence isitumike, anafaa jiulize aje temperament yake ni gani, na temperament ya partner wake ni gani. Kwa sababu kama you have a partner and he or she is an introvert, if you use silence, haitakuwa perceived vibaya, kwa sababu introverts wao huwa wanakuanga yani strategic, wanakuwa na strategic minds za kufikiria chini ya maji. Si watu wa kuexplode, si watu wa kuongelea hiyo kitu ati from a generalistic point of view. Majority of them wataihandle na kuwa silent. Sasa kama huyo lady partner wake, ama kama the man mwenye anajua ni a silent person, by all means huyu mwanaume anatumia silence as skill.
So we want to say thank you so much. Tumekuwa tukiona your comments. We appreciate you so much. And also we also want to give a special thanks also to Dominion Castle. ambao wamekuwa kitu host, na tunarudisha shukrani sana with the management So remember that our major issue here is to deal with the mental health and tunaangalia hizi aspect zote, how they are related to mental health, how we can be able to cope with them, how we can be able now to navigate with them, and also how you can be able now to understand your partner, how you can be able to understand your fellow brother or also your fellow sister, because saa zingine ninaonaga kumbe ni misunderstanding tu inaingilia pale because sasa kama wewe unaona mtu mwingine hawezi kumunderstand, inamaanisha mtakuwa na indifference, na maybe tu ilikuwa tu kitu kidogo sana So we are going now maybe to do just a recap of all those topics to see now to understand more and to engage more.
If we can go back, one of the reasons as to why we're talking about temperaments is to be able to understand our partners.
Yes.
Or to be able to understand our brothers, our relatives, our friends.
Yeah.
Because people are made different. And if you go, if unataka to solve an issue with a specific person,
yes,
using the same kind of thinking, expecting that huyo mtu atatumia akili yenye uko nayo, it's totally wrong. Because people are made different.
Yeah.
So you should always learn to see things from other people's perspective. And ukiangalia, for example, ukiangalia watu kama kina phlegmatic, kuna an issue, one of the solution to providing about communication challenges ni high tolerance.
Yes.
Na watu personality ama temperament ambayo iko na high tolerance ni phlegmatic. And if you can recall, we said phlegmatic are the people who are perceived as cool, cool, hawana maneno, very reasonable. Hawa watu wanakuwa na high tolerance. But at the same time wanakuanga easily taken advantage of. Because your high tolerance ama a lot of patience inafanya wanakuwa wana welcome a lot of people, wanakuwa tampered with.
People taking advantage of them.
So hata tukiangalia si ati tukisema uko na high tolerance tunamaanisha ati wewe ni mzuri sana. High tolerance yako bado inafaa kuwa in moderation. Kuna set book tulisoma in high school ilikuwa inaitwa Enemy of the People. Kuna one of the individuals alikuwa anaitwa Peter Stockman. Alikuwa akisema everything in moderation. So everything in moderation, hata kama ni hiyo high tolerance, in moderation. Irrespective of your temperament, no matter how that temperament is very real to you, or you cannot change it, but if you can remember, we said that we can improve on ourselves, but we cannot change our temperament. We improve on ourselves. So if we improve on yourself, you can be able to solve. Kama ni hiyo high tolerance, unajaribu ku draw the boundary, unajua from hapa hii tolerance yangu sasa mtu ataanza kutake advantage of it. Inaishia hapo.
And actually pia at the same time tuko tunasema is always good now, wakati unaona your partner maybe akona a certain that is a temperament plan, it is always good to understand that person. Because unaona sasa kama hapa phlegmatic in our archive notes how do they express their feelings, how do they react you'll find that kuna practice assessive communication to express need and emotion.